If you're over 30 and you're trying to break into cybersecurity, especially when you're trying to transition from a different career path that is entirely different from cybersecurity, it's not IT related, you don't really have much IT knowledge. I think that's an upheaval task. That's a really difficult thing to do. And in most cases, this category of people are never successful in terms of getting a cybersecurity job. And this is because they are really following the same strategies that younger people are using to get into cybersecurity. So I'm going to explain it to you. Hopefully by the end of this video, you would know the best route to take and also the best approach when or while transitioning from a different career path to cybersecurity. What most people don't know is that cybersecurity is not really an entry level career where you just transition to immediately or you just move into. So you need to have some experience, and the only way to have those experiences by actually working in the field or some very related fields. So I need you to follow me. I need you to listen carefully. Typically, the way it works, especially in my own country, so if you go to any posting and you see cybersecurity analyst needed, or cybersecurity or penetration tester needed, or blah 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 needed. So the thing is that the people that are going to apply for those things and successfully get them are people that must have had some experience before working in some capacity. So now, where do people that are transitioning, people that have not gotten any experience before, they don't have any experience of, oh, I worked in cybersecurity, how do you now jump to get a job ahead of someone that has worked in that capacity before? How possible is it? So that's what I want to discuss. So the question I'm sure you'll be asking me in your mind is, okay, Emmanuel, how can someone who is transitioning from a non-IT related field get experience, or how can they compete with people that are already there? So I've heard things like just write so many certifications. Certifications should be enough. It should be enough to get you that job. Well, I think it's typically you wasting your money, especially when you're jumping to the expensive certifications. You're just wasting your money. So you can't write CISSP certification or CISM certification and want to become a CISO, that's a CISO, a Chief Information Security Officer. You cannot, it does not work that way. You must have gotten experience before you take on those roles. It's not just by passing certification. Anybody can cram or just read for certain certification and pass the certification, but that does not mean you can do the actual job. You need to have some experience. Now, what would I advise if someone should meet me and say, oh, Emmanuel, I'm in this category, I am above 30 years old, and I was doing a job as a teller before, I was doing a job as customer care agent, but now I've picked interest in cybersecurity. How can I stand a chance? Well, there's only one thing I would advise based on my own experience, and this is what I tell some people. If you've gotten some basic idea and knowledge of what cybersecurity is, you've maybe had some trainings, maybe with a training institute or a consultancy in cybersecurity institutes, you've had this basic training just to understand what cybersecurity is, then you would know that there are different cybersecurity paths. So cybersecurity is not just cybersecurity. There are different pathways, different other sub roles under cybersecurity. So there's the technical path and there's the non-technical path. So you need to sort of understand the differences between the two of them. Career paths in cybersecurity that are tagged technical and the ones that are tagged non-technical. So please stay with me. The technical roles you see things like cybersecurity analysts, you see things like penetration testers, security engineers, incident responders, cryptographers, malware analysts, SOC analysts, security architects. You see some of those other big names. Then for the non-technical roles, you see things like cybersecurity managers, compliance analysts, risk analysts, security awareness trainers, security auditors, cyber security sales engineer, pre-sales, business development managers or those in business development, then the information security officers. So these are people, these are the non-technical roles in cybersecurity. And by non-technical roles, I mean they don't so much use cybersecurity tools and softwares to do a lot. They don't really focus on that part. they focus on the non-technical part. So you see them writing policies, you see them doing some checks, some compliance stuff. So looking at the technical roles, they mostly appeal to younger people because you need to learn a lot of tools and you need to have a lot of resources, research a lot, and you must be vast to be able to handle those technical roles. So older people above 30 that are transitioning from a different field, cybersecurity, probably they have families that they are thinking about while trying to break into cybersecurity. So they might sort of struggle with those pathways, those technical pathways, unlike the non-technical pathways where you just need to grasp the knowledge, just keep on. It's mostly theoretical, let me just put it that way. So you just need to understand the concepts, then you can get certifications to show for it, and this should be enough to land you a role there. So whether I like it or not, go and do your survey. You will see that most people that tell you that they broke into cybersecurity or they transitioned into cybersecurity from a non-IT role, they ended up doing the non-technical part of cybersecurity and they were successful in it, and that is what I would advise. But then again, I'm not saying it's impossible to get into the technical part, but it's just going to be harder because younger people from school and everything are already saturating those parts. So again, if you are, I'll give you more reasons why I'm saying this. Let's say you were working in a marketing role, maybe as a portfolio manager or as a teller or as a customer service support staff or something like that. You've worked in some marketing role, and I think it's now, I would advise you, since you did marketing and you want to get into cybersecurity, you need to look into things like pre-sales, where you get to sell cybersecurity solutions to companies and bring in customers to purchase the solutions that your organization sells, or you sell those solutions to those companies and get commission, get paid for it. So you should consider pre-sales. But for you to get into pre-sales, you need to understand what cybersecurity is, understand those tools or softwares and how they are being used. You don't really need to go in depth to say, oh, I want to hack with this tool, or you need to press this, press that. You don't really need to know that, but you need to know this is the functionality of this tool, this is how it is used, this is the best tool that is in the market, this is why it's best. So you should know how to sell that cybersecurity tool. So another thing is, I would tell them, since you did marketing or something related, why not look at business development? It's almost the same thing as pre-sales, but it's on a higher level. So this is like for those that are much older, maybe in 40s or 50s. Look at business development. So you must have had other customers you've engaged with over the years, maybe banks and financial institutions. So you can now get those customers and sell those cybersecurity solutions to them. Also, cyber sales engineer is one of the ones I would tell them to consider. Then let's say someone now tells me, oh, I did something related to law, or I did something related to mass communication or political science. I would say, oh, that's not bad. Since you did something related to law, consider looking into compliance analysts or risk analysts or security auditor, so or IT auditor. So these people just make sure that, okay, for the compliance analysts, they make sure they are complying to every every security policies that are out there. They understand the industry certifications, I mean the standards and all those other things. So some people, the risk analysts, they measure the risks in the cybersecurity risks in every organization. So you could go to those places, and the thing about those places is that you can be 40 years old and you can land a job there, as long as you have the theoretical knowledge of, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, and you've gotten a certification to show for it, maybe an ISO certification, or some of these, maybe PCB certification. You have one of these certifications. They'll say, okay, this person has the knowledge. When you go for interview, they say, okay, this person has the knowledge and he has the certification. So there's no technical thing that they say, okay, let's test if you can do this, let's test if you can do that. So it's easier for them to break into those parts. If you now tell me you studied chemistry or marine science or geology or geography or physics or some of those science related courses, or maybe history, I'll tell you to consider going for roles like information security officers, cyber security consultants, security awareness trainer. So these are still non-technical roles that you can easily enter into. And the sweet thing about this thing is you're just getting into it just to put your leg. Maybe somehow, for some reason, you want to get into the technical aspect, it's fine, but find a way to get into that work, cybersecurity job, role before you now try to branch into the technical part, because going straight into the technical part will be very difficult. After all these things that I've said so far, it is not, listen to me, it is not impossible for someone above 35 to land any, or maybe a technical job or technical role, but it's very difficult. It's very difficult. Someone coming from a non-IT field just getting a technical role in cybersecurity, it's very difficult, and it requires a lot of patience and sacrifice. So if you are above age 35 and you have a family or something and you're trying to transition, then you need to consider these things. Look more into the non-technical part of cybersecurity. But if you are passionate about the technical part, I would really love to hear experiences from those that maybe transitioned into the technical part. And you can, in the comment section, if you know someone that sort of transitioned from a non-technical or non-IT related field to the technical part of cybersecurity at age older than 30 above, just let me know, and I would really love to hear from that person how the person did it. So I hope this video was useful. This is just me sharing my knowledge of what I usually advise people. So again, people could have their different opinions or takes to some of these things. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It's really important.